Aboro, Aboye, Abushishe, Revolutionary Greetings, Jumbo, Hotep, Hutuwapo, any sincere greeting that's, used throughout the universe to greet our new African brothers and sisters, man. Coming at you today, Haki, Kweli, Shakur. Ready to drop this video. My next topic that I want to touch on. Some new information that I just came across, and today I'm dealing with another video on a spiritual system that comes out of the oldest spiritual system on earth, which is the universal mystery system of Africa and all other indigenous traditional peoples of the earth, the original peoples of the earth, black man, black woman, and all other indigenous peoples across, the globe. And this is coming out of a, indigenous spiritual traditional system, man, which is basically comprised of, ancestral worship, cosmologies, dealing with nature, dealing with spirits, dealing with, the divine essence, period, the creator, our first ancestor. So it's like, this is what this video is about. I found one of the, oldest systems that I just came across like a couple of weeks ago. And this system is, man, like, I do a lot of studying in the area of Central Africa and South Africa. So this is some good information that I just came across. And I had to come on here and, make a video about it and put it out in the atmosphere, show these ancestors some love, give them some recognition, because this is like in the hub. Like, first, just let me give a shout out to my, my ancestors, man, the Orishas, everybody who showed me love and showed my video love, man. And by the time this video was over, man, the information and references that I'm using as far as this video is going to be in my little description box, under the in the YouTube video description box right there under my video. So you can read about it, because I did a blog on it. You can hit that blog link and, take it from there and, check this information out on your own. But this is coming from, in the Rwanda and Uganda, Buganda area. And what this video here today is about, Rwanda and their creator, God, called Imana, and their spiritual, spirits called Abazimus, and these other spirits called Imandawa, which is hero spirits. So, what I'm dealing with today is basically like showing you another aspect and another, system that's dealing with indigenous, customs and traditions, man, dealing with spirits, nature, and the creator, man, and the oracles. You see what I'm saying? So this is what this video is about, because I know many of my people ain't never heard of this before, as far as like coming out, this system particularly, but it's basically the same as the others. It's similar to the Ifa, it's similar to the Voodoo, but this system is, I can deem it as, it's like one of the root first systems. You see what I'm saying? The first, I feel like it's the first presence and evidence of the original system on earth, which I call Voodoo or Vodun, because that is the oldest system on earth. And all your other systems and religions and all these other type of systems, man, they come out of that. You see what I'm saying? So every system that you see on earth is voodoo or has elements from voodoo. And this system right here is showing you that our people in Central Africa had this. Like our Twa, the Hutu, the Tutsis. You see what I'm saying? They was doing this before it moved up in Northern Africa and out to Western Africa, which, I ain't gonna get too much into that historical debate, because I got, I got my little critical analysis on all that stuff too, but I ain't gonna get into all that today. I'm just dealing with these systems today. And plus I'm gonna, talk a little bit about the system called Animism. Animism is the same thing as basically voodoo. You see what I'm saying? But it's an aspect to this animism belief, and it's one of the oldest on Earth also. So I'm showing you all this stuff came in at the same time in Central South Africa. So this is what this is about right here, man. You know, and this is, it gets no original than this. Cause see, why I do this and show you these videos and all this stuff, I want to show you what we had pre-colonial contact with the Europeans. You see what I'm saying? All our spiritual systems in its original form, indigenous form, so you can see where this stuff originates from, and then perhaps you may want to go back and get in tune with these systems, because this is your original system if you're a black man, black woman on Earth. You see what I'm saying? So this is what this is about. So video is about Rwanda and their god Imana and their spiritual system and animism. You see what I'm saying? This is what the video is about, and I'm gonna talk about a few, you know, things like agoons, and how all these systems are, you know, all these spiritual, you know, cosmic forces and energies are all one from all our ancient indigenous civilizations in the motherland, the ancestral land, Africa. Your Orishas, your Neteru, your Bosom, your Liwas, and you know, all that, man. You know, I'm gonna just run it down real quick, but let me just hop into what I really want to talk about today, which is Rwanda and their creator, God Imana. And I'm gonna talk about this for, you know, a few seconds and give you some things on Imana and these spirits that are basically, you know, they're basically like agoons, man. You know, their ancestors, but then again, you know, the Imandawa, they're like, you know, the Orishas and all these type of things, energy forces and all that type of stuff. So I'm gonna just run through this real quick because I'm gonna try to make this video short, because I know my videos be overlapping, man. I know people ain't trying to sit down for 30 minutes to look at no video like that. So let me hurry up and just get into this. I ain't gonna try to rush neither, but Rwanda is in Central Africa, and the god is called Imana. Imana is the Rwanda people call this god Imana, and what Imana, the divine essence, basically is the, you know, supreme being that most of all our, you know, indigenous spiritual systems have, because, you know, Africans started that, man. Like monotheistic beliefs and all that type of stuff, man, started in Africa, man. And all this polytheism stuff is madness and nonsense and lies the Europeans made up to say that we were worshiping all types of gods, but these cats ain't have no sensibility or no knowledge and didn't think that our ancestors could be so deep with how they, you know, concepted these concepts as far as their spiritual systems, man. And it's a shame on them, for real. But our people were the first monotheistic people on the planet, man. They always believed in a creative force, man. Not necessarily, you know, a spooky man that's hiding in the clouds, but they use humans and gender to describe the creator, because that's how they did it, man. They put in a story for him. It's metaphorical. Like when you hear him speaking on gender, he, she, far as pertaining to the creative force, man, it's just a metaphor, man. You know, just to get the point across on what the creator is. But the point is, a lot of people don't do enough information to see that they using a scientific, spiritual, you know, thing behind what they saying when they speak in their creator God, when they be like a he or a she. You see what I'm saying? So let's get that straight also, man. Just because they call the creator he, she, don't mean they believe that it's actually a man in the clouds and all that. It's a supreme being, meaning, like I always tell you, everything is not meant to comprehend. The mind, everything on earth is not, the unseen, let me rephrase that. The unseen is things that humans are not fully mentally to comprehend about the unseen. Amon, all these type of things, man, that you call the unseen source of existence. Just to make it clear. You see what I'm saying? So, let me get on into it. Imana, the creator, god of Rwanda, is inherently good. He needs nothing rarely. You see what I'm saying? He rarely intervenes, you know, in people's lives, you know, but however, he also determines a person's destiny at birth. You see what I'm saying? This is what the Creator does. This is what the Creator is about. He's inherently good. He does nothing. He rarely intervenes in human lives because he's far away from, you know, like the Creator is just so, you know, deep. This whole Creator God thing is so deep that Africans looked at the Creator and the God as something that's totally out of our, you know, mental capacity, far as, you know, dealing with human affairs, man, human existence. Creator is, you know, that's just something that's too deep to be like, going that far in trying to figure out what the Creator be doing and all that type stuff, man. You see what I'm saying? The Creator is deemed far from us in its own, doing its own thing, far as in the universe, man, in the spiritual realm, because that's what it's the source. You know what I mean? It's the darkness. It's the light. It's the center. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, some people shouldn't try to elaborate too much on what the Creator is, man, because you in your human form, just be blessed that you are here. You see what I'm saying? But let me move right along. With the, you know, peep the connection on that also. It says, Imana, you know, however, determines a person's destiny at birth. Just as like in the Ifa. In the Ifa believes that all humans, man and woman, have a, you know, purpose and destiny has been set by the Creator, which we call Olodumare. You know, your destiny and purpose has already been preset before you come into existence. So you come into the world with a purpose and a destiny. And in the Ifa, your purpose and your destiny and your job and all this type of thing, as far as a human being, when you grow up and you evolve throughout your life, you know, your job is to remember what your destiny and your purpose is, which is what your Ori is, which is your head, your conscious, you see what I'm saying, database. And that database has been erased when you come into existence. So this is just like the Rwanda God is saying. Basically, your destiny is set at birth. But it's your job as you go through life to get this knowledge, to seek guidance, you know, from the diviners, and, you know, or whoever you know, the ancestors, you know, to help you remember what your destiny and purpose is and to fulfill it. Period, man. That's what the universal mystery system is all about, man. It's about, you know, saving yourself, man, and living a good life to the fullest, a righteous life, and to fulfill that destiny and to fulfill your purpose. This is what you're here for. You are sent here because you're a divine being, man. The Creator only sent you. So you must recognize that, man. And nobody is going to come back and save you. So you must live your life to the fullest, to your highest righteous self potential, man. And, you know, try to get to that destiny and fulfill it, man. This is what your purpose is, period. In life. Save yourself, man. Stay away from that negativity. Keep that negativity suppressed, man, as much as possible. Because we're duality. Our spirit is mixed with duality and polarity, man. So you got to balance that shit. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Just see, this is what the preachers and all these people don't touch. They don't you know, they don't tell you. So that's why, you know, shame on them too, man. Because they're not really giving you the true jewels. You see what I'm saying? They ain't giving you the indigenous jewels with our ancestors and all of them, you know, that was put down before all this organized religion. You see what I'm saying? Let me move right along, man. Other names for Imana. Imana has a name that it goes by that is called Rugira, which is the Supreme. He has another name which is Rurimak, which is the creator. He has another name, which is Iya Karu, which is the one at origin. Then he has another name, which is called Rugigba, which is the generous provider. This is just some of the names, you know what I mean? And this is what they say in Rwanda as far as pertaining to Imana. They say, this is some more names for the creator god Imana, which is Ha Bi Mana. Let me say that again. Ha Bi Mana, which is God is supreme. These are sayings that you can say to, you know, communicate with the creator of Rwanda. You see what I'm saying? The creator God, the creator, you know, force, the you know, the divine essence, our first ancestor, man. Another name, another saying that you can say, you know, which is Habaru Rima, which is the creator supreme. Another one is Ha Bi Ya Kare, which is mean, like I just said a few minutes ago, the one at origin is supreme. Here's another saying. And this has the oldest people on earth right here, man. You're like one of the oldest tribes on earth, man, which is where all the other, you know, groups like the Nilotic peoples of the Nile Valley and all these type of people, Ethiopia and West Africa, you know, Yoruba people and all these type of people. This is where these people come from. The Twa, you know what I mean? The Pygmies, you know what I mean? And this is in Rwanda, you know what I mean? And they call it, you know, this is a saying that they say. They say Twa Giri Mana. Let me say it again. Twa Giri Mana, which is only God can save us. Ooh, man, I swear, man, I love learning this stuff from, you know, Africa, man. They got all the good stuff down there, man. I swear to God, man. And the, you know, there ain't nothing like the motherland and the ancestral land, man. Let me say it again. Twa Giri Mana. Only God can save us. You know, and here's duality and polarity that I'm always, you know, telling y'all about, man. Imana is a duality creator force, man. Divine essence. It goes by its duality name also, which is this, you know, everything has a positive, everything has a negative. And the other side of Imana is, they call them Ru Re Ma Kwaku. Let me say that again. I might have said that wrong, because you know I'm still learning these words. The other side of Imana is called Ru Re Ma Kwasi. That's how you say it. Ru Re Ma Kwasi, which is the name of Imana when it's used to describe him as a time when he sets someone's destiny in a negative fashion. So that's the negative energy, the lower self. That's all that what this creator other side is. The Rure Marquasi. That is the negative energy force, man. You see what I'm saying? That, man, it's so easy, man. That's why I'm trying to break it down so simple to y'all. Like, this is fire, man. Let me move right on along, man. Let me move on along to the Abazimus, which is souls, spirits of this oldest system of Central Africa. One of the oldest systems of Central Africa has the spirits of like all the other, you know, systems that I'm gonna get into in a few seconds. The Abazimus, man, you know, they are spirits, and these spirits, they keep their name in the, you know, they basically like Agons. They keep the name and only thing about these people, they keep the name and personality of the person who has died, and you know, and they live near where they lived at when they were alive. You see what I'm saying? So this is what, you know, they did in Rwanda, the indigenous people of Rwanda. As far as worship, their worship consists of, you know, offerings, like all the indigenous systems of Africa. The worship consists of offerings, gifts, or sacrifices. You know, the large sacrifices are, you know, done along with singing. They were singing along with the large sacrifice because they believe that the Abazimus, can only hear but can't see. So this is why they sing in the worship and the sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? And just like all, as I'm moving along, just like all traditional indigenous systems of Africa, they have a diviner. A diviner is a person that you seek guidance from. You seek knowledge to, seek knowledge from to get in contact, with the creator. He's like the mediator. He's the person in between that, but he's not like a preacher, a person that's going to try to tell you what to do and dictate what you do. He's going to give you advice, wisdom. You see what I'm saying? This is what the diviner do. You know what I mean? And so in Rwanda, in their spiritual system, the diviner is called Umu Pifumu. Let me say that again. Umu Pifumu. You know what I mean? Umu Pifumu. I hope I'm saying that right. The diviner is used, and what this diviner does, he uses a technique called Guha Nura. Guha Nura. And what this means is prophecy. Just like in the Ifa. You know what I mean? The Ifa is the wisdom and the prophecies of the Yoruba system. You see what I'm saying? So it's basically the same thing. The Guha Nura, which means prophecy, which uses intuition and inspiration from the spiritual world. Then they have another, they use divination just like the Ifa. And what this is called the Kura Guza in Zuzai. And what this means is divination. This is the word for divination in the Rwanda system. And what this one particularly does is the diviner, uses wood. So that shows you how old this is. He's using wood. He ain't using like the, like the cola nuts and all these type of things, the obi, like the coconut and all these type of things that they throw on the floor, or, to, do the reading of the oracle. You see what I'm saying? Because that's all these is, the divination is just the oracle. You know what I mean? So this particular Kura Guza Inzu Z is the divination of this system, and they use wood. And what they would do would throw the wood on flat surfaces and read the messages according to how the wood falls. So man, that just show you how old this is, man. This is the original systems, man. Central Africa too, oldest spot on earth, man. This is fire, man. That's all I can say, man. And here's another one called the Kura Guzu Uru Gimbu, which is a divination where they use fat from animals. And when they use the fat from animals, they'll mix the fat with the animals with some, herbs from the earth, and they'll let it dry out for a while. And then later on, the diviner, which is the Umu Pifumu, or Umu Pifumu, however you want to pronounce that, he lights the fat on fire like a candle. And what he's doing is lighting this candle on fire. And when he he'll let it burn for a while. He'll let the fire burn and watch it, just sit there and just watch and observe the fire. And as he's observing the fire, this fat burning, this herbal fat burning from an animal, he interprets the message by reading the fire. And what is fire? Fire is one of the main elements out of the 4 cardinal points and the 4 elements of every traditional thing of existence on earth. Come on, man. That's showing you how deep this is, man. He gets the messages from the fire. You know what I mean? So that shows you that these people are fire people. You see what I'm saying? Man, it's so dope, man. Come on, man. Like, you gotta get up on this stuff right here, man. Like, that's dopeness right there. You know what I mean? Like, that's power. That's original. And let me get on into like these spirits that's like the Orishas and all your other cosmic energies and forces, which is called the Imandwa. You know what I mean? If I'm saying that right, the Imandwa. That's how you say it. Imandwa, which means spirits or dead heroes. So that is telling you that these are cosmic energies and cosmic forces, the Imandwa. And the Imandwa are very powerful, and they require special worship. The chief the chief Imandawa is the masculine. This is just like the Liwa god. This is like the, you know, like the this is just like the spirit and the creator of Togo, creator god, which is you know, Mawa Lisa, which is made up of the masculine and the feminine, you know, and the one deity, one creator. You know what I mean? This is what this, you know, chief. This is what this creator type god is. It's a split of two. In the chief Imandawa spirit is called Riyagumbe. You know, and this is you know what the, you know, Tutsi, the Hutu, and the Twa, you know, worship in a ceremony called Kubandawa. This is what the you know, ceremony is called Kubandawa, and that is the masculine side of this creator force energy. The feminine side of the Imandawa is called Inya Binji, which is and they deem her as a rebellious spirit. You see what I'm saying? This is a rebellious feminine spirit that the Hutu in the northwestern areas of Rwanda, you know, and Buganda, Uganda worship. Like one part of Rwanda, particularly, you know, worships the feminine. You know, like most societies of Africa, they deal with the, you know, you know, like the matriarchal thing. You know, most societies in Africa, you know, they worship the black woman, man. Basically, this is what Inya Benji is that feminine, rebellious spirit of the Imandawa. You know, and so, you know, that's what it is. You know what I mean? The Imandawa spirits are sort of like the Orishas, the Netaru, the Abosama, the, you know, Akan people, you know, and the Liwas of the Vudan Togo people. Let me move right along. And this is comparison to Shango, which is your, you know, we all know Shango was a real king of the Yoruba people. He just was deified. So in the Rwanda, this can show you too, in the Rwanda system, they also have a king called Umawami. And Umawami is the king of the Tutsi. And this king was deified. You see what I'm saying? Just like the Orisha Shango. And, you know, Umwami was the incarnation of Imana. You see what I'm saying? And this is, you know, they put him on the level of Lord of God. You know what I'm saying? And Umwami is a person that the people of, you know, of the Tutsi people, you know, they always remember him for his moral and physical perfection. You see what I'm saying? That's sort of like Shango. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to show you what the connection at and all this is at. So that shows you the connection right there. You see what I'm saying? Like, Umwami is sort of like Shango. You know what I mean? So just peep that out. That's deep right there, man. So that he's put to the level of Orisha, basically, in other terms. But you know, they didn't call that in Rwanda. You see what I'm saying? So that's what that's telling you right there, man. You know, as I'm moving right along. Let me get into animism. You know what I'm saying? Animism. Animism is, you know, a belief system of spirits also. Because, you know, indigenous African believe this, you know, into the spiritual stuff, man. Spiritual, you know, spirituality, man. This is what it all boils down to. And animism comes from the Latin word anima. And the word anima means breathe or soul. So in animism, and this is one of the oldest beliefs on earth, man, along with voodoo. Animism. This is what most of the Africans practice in Africa, man, before pre-colonial religion contact, man. And animism is the belief that non-human entities like animals, plants, inanimates possess a spiritual essence. And through and basically this is part of a cosmology systems in your early African antiquities, man. And these cosmology systems was here before pre-colonialism and organized religion. You know what I'm saying? Animism, you know, the belief of animism, that shit encompasses the belief that there's no separation, you know what I'm saying, between the spiritual and the physical material world, man. So the Africans see that there's no difference between the physical material realm and the spiritual realm. So these spirits are always near. They're in everything, all existence, spirits in all things. Like if you go outside, look at the tree, that has a spirit in it. You know, the water has a spirit in it. The sky has a spirit in it. You know, the animals got spirits. The plants got spirits in it. And they use these spirits, you know, to their utmost abilities of positivity for healing, mental healing, physical healing. You know, they use these, they invoke these spirits for positive things and to do away with negative things that's causing havoc on their civilizations. This is all the animism is. This is why every indigenous, you know, civilization in Africa, you always seeing them projecting, you know, like animal things. You see animal carvings, animal pictures, or they be wearing animal, you know, skin, or they, you know, you see it like they it's like they worshiping animals. This is even all the way into the Americas with the leopards, the jaguars, the leopards, and all that type stuff. You know why they worship animals like that? Because they believe that the spirits in these animals and in these plants and all these things are positive energy, vital energy forces, man. They're vital energy and it can be used. You see what I'm saying? So this is what animism is, man, and it's the oldest, you know, on earth far as spirituality practices, man, and tradition and belief. Let me move on to Agons, man. The Agons, what are Agons? Agons are our ancestors. Period. Spirits. Bloodline. Agons. So when you hear me say Agons, man, this comes from the Yoruba word, means spirits, man. And these spirits are your ancestors, man. Your blood, your known and unknown that you might not know of, man. Pay homage to your Agons, man. And these Agons are in every traditional indigenous system. It's called ancestral veneration. And I got a video on that. You can check that out on my page too, on ancestral veneration, aka ancestral worship. And the Agons can be used for guidance. You can call on them for guidance, wisdom, and just, you know, just to walk with you, man. To keep it plain and simple, man. It ain't real nothing spooky about it. You know, it's real spiritual, man, because you are your ancestors and your ancestors are you, man. Period. Call on them. You know, this is why, you know, I was telling Kat on IG last night, like, man, you know, all you cats that's caught up in the Jesus thing, that's you, man. But that's a European deity to me. Because I know where it came from. I know who created it. I know how it was created. And I know why they worship it. That is a European deity, to break it down simple and plain. And no, I don't believe in him and I don't worship him. I believe in my ancestors, man. Period. Why not? They part of my DNA. They part of my cells. They're part of my spirit. They're in my consciousness all day. They're around me all day. They're in nature. They're here, man. I call on my Agons, man. Ashe-O. Moving right on along. This is the 7 African powers. What are the 7 African powers? Because a lot of people ask me about the 7 African powers. The 7 African powers are part of your, you know, your Caribbean cultures and spiritual systems. The 7 African powers came about because, you know, when our ancestors were forcibly removed to these areas in the Caribbean areas and all these areas in that part of the world, in the Americas, you know, we couldn't practice our indigenous spiritual systems, man. So all our ancestors that was out there, man, going through what they was going through with these terrorists, you know, they had to find a way to stay connected to the motherland, man, and stay connected to the indigenous selves. So they still brought their systems with them as far as voodoo and Ifa, and they used the 7 African powers, which is, they took the European saints and syncretized them, which is called syncretism. What is syncretism? Syncretism is when you take something and you use it to use something that's originally practiced. Basically. Like, it's like guising. It's a disguise. You see what I'm saying? So they took the saints, used the saints' name, but at the same time, they were still worshiping the Orishas, or Yoruba, and the Ifa. You see what I'm saying? And other traditional spiritual systems that they believed in. You see what I'm saying? They, you know, this is what the 7 African powers are. The 7 African powers are basically 7 main Orishas. Like Shango, you know, Oya and all those people, man, and Ogun, you know what I'm saying, and all those people, man, they're the seven African power. But in you know, Haiti and all these places in Cuba, you'll see that they use the Catholic system to still practice their indigenous traditional systems of voodoo, Ifa, you know, and the other traditional systems. And, you know, basically, man, you know, they still was doing their thing with the indigenous practices, man. That's what the seven African powers are. The saints. They're nothing but the Orishas, man. The skies, so they can still practice it. You know, moving right on along. The Liwas. The Liwas are spirits too. Spirits that you can call on, you know, sort of like the Orishas, the Netarus, the Bosa, the, you know, all these type. They're the same thing, man. Like, that just brings me to this point before I shut the video off, man. All these cosmic forces, energies, and you gotta separate the ancestors, the Agons, because that's separate. Because they're spirits, because that's your ancestors. You can call them your ancestors. But the Abazimu of Rwanda, which had this type of system before it got into these other areas, these spirits, and you know, the Imana and these spirits are the dead heroes, all these, you know, cosmic forces, spirits, like the Orishas, the Netarus, the Bosom, the Liwas, are the same forces. They are all one. Period. They just different names and used in different worship ways, man. They're the same thing. They're cosmic nature energy forces that you can self-actualize with to help you in your daily life, to help you reach your destiny and your purpose in life. Period. This is what these all are, man. They're no different. Just different names, different beliefs to a certain extent, and different ways of worshiping these energy forces and evoking these energy forces, man. That's all. That's all these are, man. But as I close this video off, hit the link in my box on this video and just, you know, get at the blog on Rwanda and the god called Imana and their spiritual forces of their ancestors and their spiritual forces and energies of the universe and nature. You see what I'm saying? It's in the box. This is one of your oldest, you know, systems coming out of Central Africa, so I had to bring this forth, man. And as I shut this video off, man, just, man, it's been Haki, Kweli, Shakur, man. Free the land. Power to the people who don't feel freedom, man. And Salemu to all the cosmic energy forces and nature forces of the universe. And a big Ashe O to my ancestors, my Agons, man. Call on them.